So for those who don't know, so IONQ is a quantum computing company right here in College Park. They built a lab on the campus of the University of Maryland, and their specialty is ion trapped. Uh, they use an ion trap for their quantum computing. So you've got annealing computers, gate-based computers, and ion trap, and that's what they do. They got a huge amount of money from the state of Maryland to make Maryland the quantum state. There are other states that are competing. And then today, they're partnering with Sweden's EINRIDE to develop quantum supply chain and quantum enhanced logistics for autonomous driving solutions. No mention on money. And then, let's see, there was another one. Okay, and then a week ago, on May 7th, exceeded revenue expectations. Sales were flat on the year at 7.57 million. They guided for 18 million at the midpoint, was for next quarter. Let's see. And they said for next quarter, where was that? This quarter. I'm sorry. And then this quarter, this is all this quarter. So 7.57 million versus the analyst estimates of 7.50 million, basically flat. And they're at a loss of 14 cents versus a loss of 20 cents. They reaffirmed their revenue for the year. These guys win huge contracts. So, I mean, I like the company. At one point, I had mentioned in the meetings, I saw them as the FSLR of, like FSLR became the darling of Wall Street and solar. I saw them as the FSLR of quantum computing. But now, I actually like D-Wave, QBTS better. I just think, but I own it. I own them. I own the three of them.
Yeah, this
So let's look at the chart. So what do y'all, this one's been a wild ride. Every day it goes up, has a huge range, goes up every day, goes down every day, up and down.
It gapped and stayed up today.
Right. But will that hold?
That's the $64,000 question. Probably not, is my guess. This one's got a pretty. I actually haven't looked at this one since you called this up a while ago. This is a nice steady rise. I'm kind of surprised. The quantum things have been so volatile, but this thing has been kind of going from left to right, kind of pretty consistent. So I'm kind of intrigued by that.
Yeah. Anyone else? I heard a voice. How about Cole? Do you have any comments on this one? I guess not. Okay.
Sorry. No direct comments on this one, really.
Okay. All righty. Okay, let's do another one. Does anyone have something they'd like to look at, or if you want to see the play I did in the last few days, you'll laugh at me, but I don't mind sharing it. Is that all right with everyone, or?
Yeah. Ethan, I have a quick question before we jump off quantum. I know you said you prefer QBTS to IONQ. Could you maybe just go into a little explanation on why you prefer that one a bit more preferentially?
Oh, well, I like them all. They're all different. I don't see them as competing with each other. I see them as different approaches, all working toward a common goal. But the reason I like QBTS is because of what they're doing. I mean, they really hit the home run when they got the NTT Docomo reducing traffic at the base stations 15%. that's a real world application, which is what the CEO brought up at the what's his name? CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen.
Jensen Wong.
Jensen
He
Huang,
brought
yeah.
that up in his face, when he said, oh, quantum's not going to happen. And he wrote back what I've been saying in these meetings, quantum's here now. It's just nonsense. And they really are doing that. And there's a lot of projects. I don't know if you all had a chance to listen to their 2-day conference. I still haven't finished it, but they had presentations on all these things they're really doing. And this is for real. They're solving real problems and they're solving them now and they're getting paid for it. They have a number of really good clients. So I like them a lot. That's the main reason. They also took the flight path trajectory from here to Mars, and they were able to fine tune it to improve the trajectory and get there faster. So that's sort of.
Wow.
Do you recall one of the like an example of one of the problems they were talking about solving right now?
Well, they do a lot of optimization solutions, and what's it called? Transportation routing and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But you can just go through. The easiest thing to do, I recommend, is go to their investor relations and read their PRs, and you'll see that they're doing real stuff and they're doing it now, and it's not.
It's not speculative or in the air.
Yeah, no, it's for real. And then today, I guess everyone knows, released their new quantum computer.
Mhm.
That's why they went up so much today, because this is a big deal. They're also on the cloud, so you don't have to own their computer to use it. Let's see if I can. But you can get all this stuff on the QBTS annual seminar. It was online. I registered for it and I listened to day one, but there was a lot of things they're doing, real stuff. So that's why I like it so much. It's pretty amazing, and they are working on gate also, but the main thing is the annealing. Now, what I'm trying to do is get a guest speaker from them. I've been working on that the last month. I made contact with someone. They actually reached out to me after the seminar, and I've called several times and they never called me back. So I'm a little annoyed, but I did put in some time trying to get them as our guest speaker. But I'm going to keep trying. I think they'd be great. So, but another
Got
quantum
it.
you want to look at that I traded is ARQQ. I want to bring. So, if you find March 28th, I bought it on March 28th at $16.27.
Mhm.
March 28th. And then I sold it on May 1st. So again, it's a swing trade, March 28th to May 1st. And I sold it at 17.50. So that was good. I made some money on that, and I was happy. Now, what is the thing about it? Well, I don't trust them. So everyone should be aware, there's 4 plays that are dubious, okay? The 4 plays are ARQQ, LAES, STAI, and QUBT. Okay, and the reason they're because they don't have a lot of revenue, and the way they get money is through the warrants. Okay, so, and when you do that, and we had, was it John who was the finance guy, or was that William? Or a couple of you guys? I mean, I don't know what you think about that, but I don't think too highly of that. So I went back in on May 5th and I bought it again instead of the 1627, I bought it at 1609. And then if you look at the chart or look at Yahoo Finance historical data, they kept playing with it. So I'm at 1609. They keep knocking it for a week below 16. And I wasn't panicking or anything, but I know at some point they're going to announce earnings. And I don't want to get too close to earnings. Why? Because they don't have much revenue. They just don't. So meanwhile, the other day, the whole, if you look at the chart, do you see where the whole quantum sector went up the other day? You look at the chart, you'll see that. Now, let me tell you why the quantum sector went up on that day. And this is what I'm talking about. So QUBT announces a profit, okay? Now, I'm looking at this thing, and because they had a profit and they're a quantum play, although they're doing they just opened their Teflon foundry. So they're using Teflon as part of the computers, but I wouldn't really call them a quantum play, even though they have their name, quantum computing, in the name. They're not, to me, a quantum play, but they get away with it in the name. So people who don't do the research think it's a quantum play, but I'm telling you it isn't. Okay, so anyway, QUBT announces a profit. So IONQ spikes, rigatoni spikes, D-wave spikes, everything goes flying, including ARQQ. So, and at the same time, ARQQ announces that, let me get this up here for you. They announce that they're having earnings, okay, which are coming up this Thursday, okay, May 22nd. I don't want to hold their earnings. Now, let me tell you why. I don't want to hold their earnings because I know they have no revenue. So they have a loss. So meanwhile, the whole quantum sector goes up. So let me get back to, I don't want to go off on a tangent. Why? Why did they go up? Now think about this, you finance guys. Okay, they announced a profit. I think it was $31 million profit. Okay. How do you have a $31 million profit, okay, on 33,000 or 30 revenue? How do you do that? How do you have a $33 million profit on $31,000 in revenue? That's impossible.
Which company announced that?
QUBT, but that lifted up the sector. The whole sector went flying because of their profit, but it's not a profit, it's a fake out. And they went up because of the warrants. They made 23 million on the warrants, and that gave them this profit. So
That's
that's
right here. It's
Oh,
23
One
million,
already
right?
up.
that's BS. It's rigging the books. So what happened was I wanted out, and it was a week and it wasn't going anywhere. And I couldn't decide if they were shorting it or accumulating. And I tried to get hold of Rob to get his TA analysis. I'm not strong enough in TA to figure it out. So when it went up that morning, the other day, okay, it went up. I got out at 1653. So I bought the second time at 1609 and got out at 1653. So I made 44 cents. That's it. And I'm out. Well, the same day, they go up to 18. Okay. And as you'll see, they then went up to what, 22? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to bring up Yahoo Finance. One second here, guys. Come on. And I could have bought back yesterday, because early it was down. I got it. Okay, so they closed at May 16th at 1848. And that's the day I'm out at 1653, because it was a gap already of over $1. They closed at 15.14 the day before. I'm at 16.09. So I just wanted out, but it closed at 18.48. Then Monday, 24.27, and today 24.63. And today it hit 27. So there you go. As Carl would say, don't sweat it, you're playing with other people's money. But I obviously sold too soon, but I just wanted out. So that's something you all, what do you think? Would you have held? Would you have sold? You know,
Which stock, which one were you talking about? I'm trying to get the chart. QBT?
no, ARQQ, the one I'm talking about that I bought twice. But I'm saying the reason the sector went up is because of QUBT,
I got you.
when it's really warrants. And I'm telling you, ARQQ is the same deal. These guys got no revenue. And it'll be the same thing, however the warrants come in. Yeah, I'm just telling you. And I mean, I don't know how you all feel, but functionally, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be part of that. I just don't feel comfortable. You know. And here we go. Okay, so on April 4th, they announced preliminary unaudited results. They expect revenue of 18,000 to 67,000. I mean, that doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy. I mean, they got some good stuff. They're partnering with Intel, they announced, but they don't got any money, man. They got no money coming in. So I'm just telling you that's my thinking. And would anyone have sold, or I mean held, or
I personally wouldn't. I know you've been talking about the quantum stocks, but I don't buy them because they have no revenues really to speak of.
right? Right.
But
Well,
a lot of
IONQ
times,
has revenue, and so does QBTS. They have revenue.
Well, I don't think they have real. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's real revenue. They don't have like they don't have a lot of customers that they sell and they. I mean, they've got 15 million, so they have a few. They have a little. They have a few customers, I guess. So it's better than like the ARQQ and some of these other ones. So D-Wave does have a little bit of revenues, but not really that much.
But a lot of times, like the movement of the market can have nothing to do with revenues at all. Because the goal of, yeah, exactly. So the goal of the market is to take liquidity. So that's something you got to learn how to identify in the market. Technical analysis can help you with that. So wherever there's liquidity, more likely that's where market will go, because every single time market moves, it grabs liquidity, it takes liquidity. So a lot of times it's really like who are the big money, who's putting money in that market, and what is everybody, the retail traders, doing as well. So it can be just a play of liquidity, but when it comes to, let's say, more long-term vision, then that's when most of the fundamental analysis will matter the most. But if you're talking about like daily, intraday, daily or mini swings, these revenues, these fundamentals don't matter as much.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't trade like that, so that's why I don't really I'll buy small speculative stocks, but I'll buy something that has a fundamental business position that I feel comfortable holding.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't feel comfortable holding this for a couple of years, but I can hold sound for a couple of years.
So if you want to hold long term, you need good fundamentals. But yeah, if it's like more day trading, short term kind of thing, then it won't matter as much, you know.
I agree. I'm not. That's not my trading.
But even on small time frames, man, there's the liquidity, everything is there. Even like for me, fundamentals, news, these rates, all of these are just for me like an excuse for them to drop liquidity in the market, but it doesn't necessarily decide where the market will go at the end of the day.
Right.
So
well, you all are very nice, because you realize 1609 to 27 is 11 points. But what can I say? I just want it out. So, I didn't expect it to keep getting knocked down for a week, and I didn't know how to interpret it. Had it every which way for hours. I just couldn't figure it out. And then when it came to options Friday, I thought it would explode because of options, but it didn't. They knocked it down again. So I just didn't know what to make of it. I will mention this, IONQ on April 25th got a $22 million deal with Chattanooga, Tennessee, as the first quantum computing and networking hub in the US. So and they've had other deals. I'm trying to find it real quick. But they they're signing deals.